What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Swift Coin today. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Let's get into it. Okay, let's talk about the price now. I know that we are looking like it's in a rather scary formation, isn't it? If you're new to technical analysis, even if you're relatively practiced in technical analysis, it looks pretty scary anytime that you see these flat bases with descending highs. It's not a friendly architecture to the price, right? You would definitely assume, at least I would assume at a first glance, that we're going lower. That you would at the very least see some kind of breakout low that would take you probably to your next area of support, which would be around here at about 1.18 cents. You're at 1.9 cents now. For reference sake, from that, and I don't think this is going to happen. I want to say this. I don't think it's going to happen. But for reference sake, that'd be about a 30 to 40% move. Now, while this is concerning or a concerning look, I want to offer my perspective and show you guys what I see that might change your mind as to why it's a tricky look. I don't think it's actually a bearish look. And that whenever you have bearish seeming scenarios that have reasons to go down, but the underlying, when you really like put it under a microscope, there's some bullish things going on, and most people might miss that. Those are good opportunities, right? It seems so obvious that it's going to go down, and by that logic alone, that might be why it goes up, right? If it were to go down, I think it would have done it on this attempt, on this one right now. But I doubt you do. I doubt you go lower, and here's why. Again, we're going to put this under a microscope. We're going to look at the price. We're going to zoom it in, right? Whenever you're all zoomed out, you're scoped out, you're looking at the big picture. Of course, it does look like you've got these flat lows, but if you look here, it's a bit closer. We're actually getting higher lows each time. And while this doesn't seem significant at all, and believe me, it's not significant from a low to a low here, that's not even a full percent in difference. That's not significant at all. But the significance is in the details. You do have higher lows. For some reason, there is something preventing the price from going lower, at least at the moment, right? I suppose it's a bit preemptive to say that now. 52 minutes, 11 seconds left in this 4-hour candle. We could drop lower. The next one we could drop lower. You know, it's possible. But my thoughts are, why aren't we doing it? Why haven't we? Why is it that when we get this very big candle here, we don't even have above average volume? Right? Why is that? Why is it that the above average volume is coming on the upside moves, and then when we move down, we have all the excuses, all the reasons to move lower? We don't. We don't have any volume picking up either. It's probably because the more opportunities that you have to go to the downside that you waste, it's actually gearing you up for quite the opposite, right? That's my opinion, right? All the weak hands get shaken out at these higher lows. They sell out. All the FOMOers buy in at the top, and they often become weak hands, right? You're creating liquidity for the whales and for the people who are the smart money, quote unquote. And then those same people who get wrecked in this zone, whenever the price pumps, they take whatever money that they have scrounged left that they didn't feed to the whales, and they FOMO back in at higher prices, right? And the people who just buy, whether you buy here or you buy here, and you don't care what happens to the price and you're just waiting, you're an emotional stone. You are literally just solid as a rock, and you don't care. The people trying to time all this stuff, please stop. Just please stop. That's my one message that I'm trying to say right now, okay? But beyond all that, looking at the details, it seems as though we should have gone down already. That's my thoughts. And I think we can see that in the 4-hour RSI too, right? You have this downtrend, maybe even more so. You had an uptrend, and then you went sideways for a bit, and then you started a downtrend here, where we then began to break out, and we've gone sideways for a bit. We went sideways for a bit here, and then we started a downtrend. Might we go sideways and then start an uptrend? I don't know. All I'm trying to say is we have broken out of a downtrend. So there's a bullish thing right there. Broken out of the downtrend, and we've moved sideways. So while we've broken out of the downtrend, we've only been consolidating in price. That in itself is not conclusive enough to suggest that we move up. Perhaps we've broken out of a downtrend in the RSI, meaning that we are just taking a momentary pause. We're consolidating within the consolidation zone amidst a greater move down. That could happen as well. It's very possible. Or perhaps we're forming some kind of bullish configuration in the RSI, finding higher lows, finding higher highs, getting set up in a trend of our own, getting ready to go to the overbought zone. And if we were to do that, if we were to continue this potential trend in the RSI and continue to grow, that would mean the price continues to grow too. And I would think that, in fact, a higher reading, while this was rather bearish, you had a reading here that was higher than this one, and you had a price that was lower in closing values and in wicking values. So higher highs with lower highs, that is bearish. But when you get this bearish thing and you're still promoting higher lows, What gives, man? Something gives, and I think it's to the upside that it's going to give. This next RSI move to the upside, if it gets above this reading, and I think it will, you not only will you be above that reading, you'll be above the 60. You likely will go to the overbought zone. If you get a higher reading this time, I would think that that does result in you getting above this high. It probably results in you getting above this high, and you no longer have hidden bearish divergence, but you have bullish convergence, where you see higher highs culminating together in the RSI and the price itself. I think that's going to happen. There's been a couple of times this week where there's some charts that are literally right at their lows and where they seem the most bearish, and I feel like that's this moment for Swiftcoin. I've looked at it, and we've looked at it together, and we've looked at death in the face, and we've said, not today, right? How does that go, man? I love Game of Thrones. What does it say? How's he go? He says, what do we say to the god of death? That's what it is. What do we say to the god of death? Not today, Serial Pharrell, right? I think that's his name. Serial Pharrell, is that his name? I'm gonna get smoked by all the Game of Thrones people for not knowing my stuff, but whatever, man. Arya's sword teacher. Anyways, back to the charts here. 1.915 cents right now. I would assume, being on the 4-hour time frame, that either by the end of today, and likely by the end of today, we will be at prices that are at least above 2 cents, 2.1 cents, 2.2 cents. If not, we'll be at prices that are above this high entirely, above this zone, breaking out of this like lower high, higher low trend, breaking out of this little triangle of sorts. I think that by the end of today, we'll be up in this area around 2.2 to 2.3 cents, if not higher. That's my thoughts. And I've done this thing a lot recently where I've called for a move up, and then instead of it going here, it just goes 20, 30% higher than I thought. So that could happen. Just be aware. Just because I'm saying I think that we'll be here by the end of the day or higher. When I say or higher, we could be off the charts. Who knows? This is Swiftcoin. If it wants to be bullish, it can be bullish. It knows one pace whenever it's bullish. You see that pace? That's the pace. That's when I tell you by the end of the day we could be off the charts. I mean, like, well, I scoped it out now, so now it would be on the charts. But I mean it. We really could. You never know. We could see this thing above 3 cents by the end of today. I don't expect that to happen. What I'm expecting is a resolution of this kind of phase of consolidation here, in which case we would see prices that are above either of these prices on a closing basis, something above 2.2 to 2.3 cents, maybe even just above there. And the reason why I think it happens by the end of today is because on a 4-hour basis, I don't assume we're going to move sideways. I would assume we're going to find a higher low here, and what we did the last couple times, we spent 3, maybe 4 candles here at the lowest, 3, maybe 4 candles here at the lowest, and then we moved up. Well, this is our second candle now. 46 minutes left in this candle right now. We have one more 4-hour candle, so that's 3, maybe 4 candles at the most that we've been down in this range. I would think that we start to move up by the end of the day, and this is the end of the day right here. By that time, we would literally be right at about 2.2 cents if we moved up at that pace, which is similar to what we've seen here, right? Just not as big, but 2.2 cents at a minimum, maybe not at a minimum, but by the end of the day, I could see that happening. If not higher, what if you move at a faster pace, right? You could move up to 2.3 cents or higher than that as well, but I think that it might not start now. It could start now. It could start, the next 4-hour candle we start moving up, but I would expect that it starts today at the very least. And the 4-hour RSI is one of the most telling things to me. It really does look good. I like the idea of closing here on a 4-hour basis, bouncing off of the 40. That sounds like it was written in a storybook, man. 1-hour time frame. We're looking at this here. Getting overbought and getting oversold, so you're very volatile. Yes, you have it very volatile. It looks like it, just relatively speaking, very volatile. So not a whole lot to go from here. You have lower lows, relatively speaking. Let's see. You have lower lows, relatively speaking, there as well. I mean, you could go a little bit lower, but you don't have to, right? Though every time you've gotten overbought, whenever you do go overbought again, you at least get oversold beforehand. I don't know. You don't have to find support in the oversold zone. You didn't here. You found support just above it, but that didn't merit anything, right? I suppose nothing really has merited anything, though. Okay. Interesting. Maybe not. I'm not going to run with that. I'm not going to put that out there. I don't think that, I mean, it's kind of interesting. I don't know. All these lower lows, all these lower highs. That was not a good drawn trend. Something like that. If that's the case, guys, this could be in a very long consolidation phase. I say very long, but I just mean like it could last for a couple weeks, which would then imply that you do go down. But I don't think that's going to happen, right? I didn't even want to mention that, but I just wanted to show you guys. I just wanted to bring it up because I'm not trying to hide anything. It's just like I don't think as coincidental and as clean as it looks, really, I don't think it's anything to focus on. And if not, I'll eat my words in a couple weeks whenever we're down at about like 1 cent. But I don't know. I don't think it's going to happen. Anyways, I think we're moving up. I think by the end of today, you'll be at higher prices, looking like you're breaking out of your relative consolidation phase. I think we're looking death in the face right now, the god of death, and we are saying, not today, not today. We are about to rip, you guys. And from here, from a high to a low, if we take this high to low here, the 382 is a nice minimum target. That doesn't mean that by the end of today we have to be there, but when we get above about 2.6 cents, that's when it's time to get excited for higher highs. In fact, maybe I shouldn't say that. When we get above 2.6 cents, that's when we get excited for the fact that we are not going lower. When we get above 4.2 cents, that's when it's time to get excited for new highs. 4.2 cents, you break above that, it'll be a very short amount of time before we're above 6 cents, before we're at 8.5 cents, and probably beyond that, right? I very much do believe that Swift coin will go to prices that are around, if not above 10 cents. I think anything from probably 8.5 cents to 22 cents are fair targets, fair game. It could go higher. It could go to 28.5 to 35.5 cents. These are all targets, by the way, that I assume to happen by the end of March, if not early April, by the end of this coming move, right? I think alt season is beginning. I think we're about to see the average cryptocurrency pump a lot going from now until the end of March, maybe into the beginning of April. So these targets are for that time frame specifically. I very much do assume that Alchemy Pay will see prices that are worth multiple dollars, if not at least over $1 by the end of the cycle. Probably worth multiple dollars by the end of the cycle. So did I say Alchemy Pay? I meant Swift Coin. I'm sorry, guys. It's been a long day. Swift Coin, Swift Coin, Swift Coin. I looked at Alchemy Pay here if I said Alchemy Pay. Swift Coin will definitely be at prices that are worth multiple dollars, right? And the reason for that is it has such a low market cap. It's consolidated its whole life. $191 million, 192, let's just say it's 200 million. If you were to get to 100x in that, that is a $20 billion market cap. And again, I say this every time, but it's just to reinstate the facts. That's not a given. $20 billion is not something that's given. It's an accomplishment. It's a milestone. It's not promised to every single crypto. But for a crypto like Swiftcoin, I think it's an attainable milestone. $20 billion. And that would give you an over 100x. I think for a coin like Swiftcoin, 40 billion, 60 billion, even 80 billion by the end of the cycle are attainable market caps to have. So this thing is a multi-100xable coin, absolutely. And what that would do, if you were to 100x from here at 1.9 cents, that would bring you up to $1.90. If you were to do a multi-100x, this thing could be worth several dollars, even as high as $10 by the end of the cycle, you guys. I genuinely mean that. So starting off here, humble beginnings, even more humble beginnings before. If you look at the all-time history of this thing, it was just nothing but sideways for a long time. We're starting to get some life in it, and I don't think it stops here, man. And all the targets, again, by the end of the month of March, it's something around just above 10 cents to, I think, just above 22 cents, somewhere in that area. By the end of the cycle, we're thinking probably targets that are worth multiple dollars, if not something around $10 at the most. I got nothing else for you. If you like the video, hit the like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.